Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and I have here a box from Asus. I'm not 100% certain what's in it, but looks like the right shape and size to be a netbook. So let's see what's inside the box. This was sent to me as a demo unit to review. Looks like it's an EPC netbook. Let's see if there's any information on the side. It's running Windows 7. Here we go. Looks like a 1015PN, which I believe has NVIDIA ION graphics. Looks like Atom N550 dual-core processor, 250GB hard drive, 1GB of RAM, 802.11bgn Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 3.0, 6-cell battery, yes, ion, oh, that's lithium-ion battery, and doesn't say anything about the graphics. 0.3 megapixel camera. So let's take a look on the inside and see what we have. On the top is the netbook itself. Set that aside for just a second. Got a warranty card. Looks like there's power cable, power brick, user manual, and that's about it. Put those aside for a second, and take a look at the laptop. Now, typically when you get a retail version, you're going to have the battery separate, but in this case the battery looks like it was included right in here, and that's probably because this was a demo unit. So let's take a quick look around the laptop. It's got a matte lid with the Asus logo, Asus logo. It's got a VGA port, HDMI, USB power vent here on the side. The back, most of what you see is the battery. The other side, you've got two more USB ports, Ethernet, microphone, headphone, SD card slot, and nothing really on the front. The bottom has a single axis panel, which is just large enough for RAM, it looks like. And it looks like there's an interesting cover here. I'm not quite sure how you would access that screw. Let's take a look at the battery. It's a 56 watt hour, 5200 milliamp hour battery, 6-cell. It's a little bit large, but it fits nicely with the design. So you can see it sort of bumps up a little bit here on the side, but that just sort of serves to tilt the keyboard forward in a way that's actually fairly comfortable to type on. I've used a number of others like this. The laptop and does lean a little bit forward. Got some plastic here to protect the keyboard area. And some plastic around the display. Design-wise, this looks very similar to the 1015PED, which I reviewed recently. It's got the same sort of chiclet-style keyboard here. The touchpad, where you've got one large button on the bottom. The touchpad itself is actually the same texture as the area surrounding it, but there's little metal brackets here, or plastic, I'm not really sure, that help you differentiate so you don't have to look down to feel where the edges are. There's a wireless button up here, a power button over here, and if you can see this properly, there is a switch which you can use to slide over the camera so that the camera cannot be turned on, because it's actually a physical switch that just slides a door over it. So you can't turn it on and see anything when it's off. When it's on, you can. The screen is matte, so you can see that there's not really a lot of reflection there. The bezel around the display, on the other hand, is glossy. Which is interesting because that, plus the area surrounding the keyboards, are the only real glossy elements on the entire laptop. Over here you can see it does have an Intel Atom dual-core N550 processor. It has NVIDIA ION graphics and supports 1080p playback, which explains why it has the HDMI port. And it also describes this camera thing as a special feature, which is not something that you see on every laptop. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see if it will boot right into Windows or not. Sometimes I get these and I have to go through a setup screen before it boots, and sometimes it'll boot right away, so we'll see. Okay, looks like we should get the Windows 7 starter desktop here. For some reason it thinks it's plugged in. Okay, so here we go. The screen is looks like a regular 1024 by 600 pixel display. Yep. There is a mode that'll let you sort of squash the pixels a little bit and do 1,200, I can't count, 1024 by 768, but that doesn't tend to look all that good on these little guys. So even though it can play high-definition video, it doesn't actually have a high-definition display. You're going to want to plug in an external monitor if you want to take full advantage of that. But the advantage really is that you should be able to watch HD video on the web, or download HD video to your device without first having to convert it into a format that's viewable. That's something that a lot of other netbooks struggle with, because they might be able to handle some 720p video, but not 720p flash video. Shouldn't be a problem here. Should also get pretty good scores on... it's not going to give us a system rating because it's not plugged in right now. It should also give pretty good scores on gaming. It's not exactly a high-end gaming system, but it's going to be much faster than your typical netbook in terms of 3D graphics performance, which means that you should have a better experience gaming on this because of the dual-core processor and because of the NVIDIA ION graphics than you would on most Atom-powered netbooks. So there you go. That's the first look at the Asus Eee PC 1015PN netbook with a dual-core processor and NVIDIA ION graphics. Mostly we just looked at the physical design here. Stay tuned to Little Puting. I'll have a complete review soon where I'll give you more information about how it stacks up against similar netbooks in terms of performance, if there are similar netbooks. This is really one of the first NVIDIA ION-powered 10-inch models on the market, let alone one with a dual-core processor. So, there you go.